Right, this is a quick walk around video for a Volvo C30. This is the 1.6 diesel sport, which I believe has our design bits and bobs on it. An 09 registered car with 46,000 miles on the clock. Car's just come in a part exchange to us, and I'll just have a sort of quick go around the car for you, trying not to get the sun or my shadow in the way too often if I can help it. I'll come down the offside of the car first. Corner bumper there, absolutely clean. Front wings very clean and tidy. Alloy, in fact all the alloys look really good. Looks like they've been recently refurbished, so they're that nice actually. The panel work down this side's in very clean order, in all honesty. And then so rear alloy, absolutely super. And come around the back of the car here. And all very clean and tidy. So I do apologise for the light. Shouldn't complain about the sun, but it does play havoc with when you try and do these videos. I'll just come around this way a little bit more. So the bumper's very clean. Come down the near side of the car. There's a couple of light marks I want to pick out for you rather, but I'll come back to this angle first. Yeah, very nice looking cars. So the front bumper's got just, I say, literally just a couple of tiny little marks there. Could have just been touched in. That's all they need. But generally very nice indeed. Bonnet, I can't see any stone chips on there of any note at all. Then come down this near side. So it's all very clean. There's just a couple of really tiny little marks which I wanted to pick out for you, because there's a little soft dent just there, and there was one on the back wing here, I think somewhere. In fact there was two. There's one up there and one just there. I mean, your local dent man could pull those out in seconds, but given the price we're selling this for, we wouldn't be doing those, I'm afraid. Alloy on the side, again, as with the others, absolutely superb. Sorry, I do apologise for the light. I don't normally do the videos this late at night, but we're kind of pressed for time. And again, very clean on that one as well. Overall on the outside, you know, very nice, tidy car for its age and mileage. Just come into the boot area now. It's got this hard cover here with this little hinged thing here. That can always be popped out. There's a couple of latches to do it. Nice to see. You've got this carpet cover here as well. And underneath the carpet is literally, so I can pull that back for you. It looks like it's as new. It's in lovely condition. Really is. Let's come into the back of the car now. Obviously it's a 4-seater car, 4 proper seats, but all in lovely order. Obviously got this two-tone leather on these R design cars. It looks absolutely fabulous, but all in very nice condition. And on the driver's side here, the top of the seat, it's got a little button there that you can press, which is a really nice design, just to pop the seat back into position for you. Coming to the driver's door card, all looks really clean and tidy. All the footwell area is very nice. Just to show you, that's just covering the mat underneath, just to keep it clean whilst I do the walking around. Driver's seat very good. Could just probably do with a little bit of a light scrub with a valet, just to bring it back right up to top notch. And likewise passenger, very nice. And as you can see there, embossed with your R Design logo as well. So inside the car now, obviously the engine's running as it has been all the way through, but it's in really lovely condition. The dashboard's very clean and tidy. Just to show you down here, I've got the full owner's manual pack still, and pardon me, most importantly the lock and wheel nut key for the car as well. Dashboard, as I said, very nice condition. Air conditioning pumping out absolutely ice cold air. It's a lovely warm day. I've just come into the shade to do this because it's much better when you do the videos in the shade. Get a nicer view of the car itself. Come across to the main dashboard. You can see there, engine's running, 46,121 miles. No warning lights on the vehicle at all. This video is actually done after the following road test video. It's just the way it's edited. Just to let you know, all the brake pads front and rear have now been done. It's gone through its MOT, absolutely flew through. But all in very nice condition. So finally just under the engine bay here, again very nicely presented as you expect from Volvo. Lovely quiet smooth engine. They always ironically sound a lot noisier on the videos when you stood here, just because the way the video microphone picks it up. Just had an engine oil change done on it, but car and engine in very, very nice condition overall. What will follow this video will be a road test of this very car. Right, this is a road test video for a Volvo C30. This is the 1.6D diesel sport version. Mileage at the start of this brief road test is 46,112 miles, and the reg number is HY09EOS. The reason we do the videos, as I say in all of our videos, is basically we want customers to see the cars they're interested in buying in operation prior to coming to see us. The internet is brilliant, of course. It means you can search far and wide for exactly the car you're after, mileage, price, etc. But the problem is it's also fraught with having your time wasted, quite clearly. And you know, I've been on the receiving end of it, and that's kind of why we do the videos now. So on the video I will be critical of the vehicle. If there's something not right about the car, there's something we found on the vehicle, then I'll let you know about it, as I do in all of them. The road test today is done on exactly the same test drive route as any prospective buyer will go on. The reason for that is obviously I want the video to be representative of what you would feel yourself when you came and saw the car, and also drove the vehicle if you're interested in purchasing it. So just a small background, or brief background rather, to this particular car. As you know from our website, predominantly, in fact almost entirely, we're Japanese. We used to work for the Honda dealers, so we know the product very well. And sort of the Lexus stuff is really good as well. So to see a Volvo on our website is rare. The reason it's here is because it came in on part exchange. So I drove the vehicle, and the chap bought a Lexus from us, and the car drove really very nicely, and hence it's been offered for sale, albeit at a price far lower than I know the car's actually worth, but we just want to put the money back into another Japanese car, because that's what we do. So starting with the engine of the car, it's just gone into the workshops, been checked over. Engine has had a service, so it's had a new engine oil filter, complete oil change done on it as well. All the systems been checked, lights, levels, bulbs, etc. On top of that, it's gone for an independent MOT, or will be, I should say, and that'll be done hopefully tomorrow. But the engine itself starts absolutely instantly. There's no warning lights on the vehicle at all relating to the engine or any other part of the vehicle either. Engine starts without any strange noises, whirrings, vibrations, nothing at all. It's very smooth. Very impressed by it, actually, I must admit. It's a very nice engine. Very quiet in operation. When it revs with a nice engine note. It's not hard on the ears at all, but very, very, very economical. It really, really is. But it drives beautifully, and the engine, as a start-off point, is a good place to start. Is running exactly as it should. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch in the car, very smooth in operation. There's no squeaks, clicks or anything from there at all. When the clutch is in or out, there's no difference in engine note. There's no vibrations coming back through this clutch at all. Then goes into gearbox, 5-speed gearbox on these cars. Very smooth actuation, actually. I can't find anywhere in the gear linkage at all. It changes gear nicely, swiftly. There's no bulking, no resistance when you put when you're going in and out of the gears. All seems to be how it should be. It's a very, very fine fettle indeed. Drive along now, hands off the steering wheel. Car tracks absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations coming back through the steering wheel of the car at all. Regardless of what speed I'm driving at. A bit of a pet hate of mine, in all honesty, if I get vibrations from the steering wheels on these cars. But the steering hasn't lost any of its tightness or tautness from new that I can actually feel in the car. It steers very very nicely. Look at the steering wheel. but it just feels very, very tight. The whole car does, in all honesty. Suspension of the car actually drives and rides very well. You know, we are horrendously biased towards Hondas and other Japanese stuff, but this is a very nice car. I've got to be honest with you. It drives. You can see why people like them. It's comfortable. It's quiet. But the reason for the video, or the purpose of the video, is to pick up on any issues. What I'm looking for in the suspension is not the noise when it goes over the bump like now or there, because that's just a dull dumph as it goes over the bumps. What I'm really listening for is kind of secondary noises where you get a chattering underneath the car, and that's normally things like kind of drop links, centre roll bar links, maybe a bit of wear in the suspension strut. Not necessarily unsafe, but can make a car feel a little bit tired, a little bit old before its time. But this feels very, very, very smooth, and as tight as it ever could be, I can imagine, as it was from new. Driving now at the legal limit, 60 miles an hour on this section of road, and it's very quiet in here. And again, what I'm looking for now is just things like, if it's had a windscreen replaced and badly fitted, so you might have a bit of wind hiss, or a door seal which have been snagged on the way in or out, and what would be a very quiet car would be ruined by a kind of a wind intrusion. But there's nothing in it at all. It is very, very, very quiet indeed. So it brings me to the first point. It's not a fault with the car in any way, shape or form, so I don't think it is. The brakes feel absolutely perfect on the car. There's no pulsing vibrations to the pedal at all. Did notice on the PDI that the front brake pads, they're actually quite good, but they may be borderline advisory on an MOT. So it's going to have new brake pads on the front. The rears are a little bit lower again, so they're going to be changed as well. So they're far from unsafe. There's no noise in the brakes at all. They bite beautifully. But because I'm going to put it in for an MOT, I don't want advisories or failures on things fundamental that we should have checked, and they've been checked, and they're going to be changed this afternoon. So they'll all be in very, very fine order. Driving along, looking around inside the car here, in really lovely condition. It really is. There's only minuscule signs of wear in it. Clearly it's a low mileage car, so you wouldn't expect it to, but it's a lovely place to sit. Very comfortable driving position, very natural position for driving. Thick rimmed steering wheel, falls naturally to hand. You've got these big grips at the top of the steering wheel to keep your hand at 10 to 3, or 10 to 2 even, or whatever it happens to be. 10 to 2, that's right. But it's very nice. But as I said, the interior is in lovely condition. Everything I pressed has worked exactly as it should. Air conditioning, and it's a lovely warm day. It's 22 degrees today, so summer's finally here. And the air conditioning is pumping out lovely cold air. So all the switches work beautifully on the car, and it's a very well made car, of course. I mean, Volvo do make the cars very nicely, but it is very comfortable. But it's not dull. It's got a sporty edge to it. It's kind of sharp in its responses, and I do like that. But it's obviously quite a modern interior, so they've got this minimalist floating centre stack, so you've got to put your hand behind it, there's nothing there. It's sort of a slightly bizarre sensation, so you've got a bit of extra stowage in there, but very, very nicely done, in all honesty. Main dashboard is more conventional, two big symmetrical dials there. All the pixelation on all the readouts absolutely perfect. Temperature gauge running just under half, which is exactly where it wants to be on a Volvo of this engine type, so that's all good. There's no squeaks, no rattles from the interior of the car. As I said, it is in very, very, very nice condition in here. It's been very well kept, so that doesn't come as any surprise either. But as I said, the purpose of the video is really to pick up on anything I can. Mechanically, I can't fault it at all. In fact, quite the opposite. It drives beautifully, it really does. Quite often when you see a car that's a little bit cheaper than some others on the internet, there's normally a reason why. But this car's in lovely condition on the exterior. Only a couple of tiny age-related marks, which you'll have seen on the walk-around video when it's attached to this one in due course. And the interior, as I said, is absolutely lovely. So it's not that it's hiding issues with the vehicle. there aren't any. It drives absolutely fantastically well. Clearly, if I've missed anything on the video, you know, don't hesitate. Do please give me a call, and obviously I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have about this particular car. But based on what I've seen and driven of the vehicle, it's a really fantastic example.